I would say one case that sticks out in my mind before I got to our products liability section was the BP oil spill litigation. People also refer to it as the Deepwater Horizon oil spill litigation, which involved an explosion aboard an oil rig off the coast of Louisiana in 2010. And I remember I was sitting in my living room. It was April 20th, 2010. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just watching television, about to go to bed, and I see this news bulletin come across my television. And they were talking about how there's been an explosion off the coast of Louisiana. And I didn't know much about it. I could tell it was important enough that they would break into just about every broadcast to show it. 2 days later, we find out that that oil rig is leaking. A few more days later, we find out that it's not just leaking, it is gushing oil. And towards the end of April, we start getting phone calls from our clients on the Gulf Coast, large businesses, fishermen, you name it, saying we're having to basically pick up what we're doing and we can already see the impacts. And I gotta tell you, it was an incredible experience to go down to the Gulf Coast and see grown men and women just crying because they did not know how bad this was going to be. If you live in this area of the country, you know how important that body of water is to that entire area. Every industry relies on it. And as lawyers, we started out not necessarily litigating, we started out as counselors because we had to help these people basically get back up on their feet so they could figure out how to deal with this situation, which at the time had gotten completely out of control. At the time, I represented hundreds of fishermen at that time, and also a number of business owners, and ultimately worked on the Plaintiffs Steering Committee as Beasley Allen's second chair to that committee in New Orleans, and also represented the state of Alabama against BP as a Deputy Attorney General in that case, where we ultimately recovered $2.3 billion in that case on behalf of Alabama. So it's a case that I look back on and I think about all the clients that we helped. Many of those clients had businesses that ran back decades, and those businesses were a part of who their families were. And so to help them stay on their feet was an incredible experience for me, and also to help the state of Alabama.